Peace, peace, peace. Alito family. One more time. Hope y'all doing all right in your prospective areas all throughout the diaspora. Come on in, family, like and share the video.
Your backyard.
Come on in, family, like and share the video. You know, family, we've been seriously lied to. About the Atlantic slave trade. And the people that have said that we are all African. If you want to say that in a sense of right on, my brother Jose Cruz, Inca tribe. I'm Blackfoot Cherokee. Proud to be. You know, the biggest the most so-called proof that we have of us being so-called all from Africa, those of us in America, is roots. I remember when I was a little boy, I used to watch Roots. It came out in '77. I was 6 years old. And my mother and father, they weren't up on, you know, all of the history of our people and how we went from north to south. And who were the players in getting us from the north to the south, causing us to go from one plantation down south to the next. They wasn't privy to that information. So when I watched Roots with them, I never got any information from them on how all that happened. I don't even know if they actually agreed with Roots. But I know that going to school every day while Roots was playing, that all the white kids would keep their goddamn mouth shut. Because they didn't want no problem. They didn't want no problem. So they shut their mouth up. Because getting beat up was always on the menu. One of us always, or a few of us, was always ready to throw some hands. Hit them white boys all in the jaw and forehead, mouth, kick them all in the back. So they shut their mouth. Good idea. because Roots put a lot of anger in us. But the reality is that while we was watching it, I don't think any of our parents told us or confirmed to us that it was true. They couldn't tell us nothing about the author, Alex Haley. They didn't know much about the account of him saying that Kunta Kinte was his cousin and he found him, and when he went to Africa, who was that played Kunta? Oh, Alex Haley was played by James Earl Jones. He never came and told us nothing about any truth to him. He just played Alex Haley. And then you come to find out, I'm 50 now. And a few years ago, I find that Alex Haley's account of Roots was plagiarized. He was lying. Took books and information, took information from two different authors. And so we were sold that we from America. I mean, we from Africa, all of us from Africa. But none of our relatives that I know mine didn't say nothing about Africans in our family. Now, on my father's side, there's one full-blooded Zulu from Africa. My great-grandmother on my father's side. The only one. Then you come to find out, they didn't bring millions of Africans over here. That was a whole lie. We were already here. This has been our land, or land we've occupied for a long time. That's right, black cowboys too, which were natives. This is America. Never belonged to pale faces. Not ever. Yet we've been totally lied to. So what I'm gonna do tonight, I'm gonna show a couple of, maybe one video where a sister talks about Alex Haley and the book Roots. I never heard nobody confirm, no adults confirm that Roots was real. We just watched it. Every year, my mother and father and I watched it. The lies these pale faces have told. But after they pulled us from our culture, took our land and spread us all over this country, they gave our people a name. They called them Negroes. The Negroes is the so-called black. These folks have spent millions and millions and millions of dollars lying about who we are. Then you have the Negro Project that came through Planned Parenthood. That was a project to destroy the natives of this land so pale faces could take it over and claim it was theirs. This land never belonged to pale faces. Not ever, family. Get my head dressed. Or this. Okay. Get it right. There we go. Now, they have never told us in school anything about us being the natives. So then some of you probably say, well, how the hell we got them white looking folks that look like they supposed to be the natives? Well, there's a thing called $5 Indians. After they stole everything they could from us and broke all the treaties they made with us, after so many years, they was going to compensate our ancestors. And upon hearing that, the pale faces, the raggedy 2 or 3 teeth pale faces, went to their own pale face courts and paid $5 to become natives. That's one reason why you see all these light brights that were supposed to be the natives. But let me just tell you something. Most nations, unless they pale like Japan, no matter of fact, even the Chinese have dark-hued people among their races. So do the Japanese. So do the Indians from India. So do the Puerto Ricans from Puerto Rico. So do the Colombians in Colombia. So do the Panamanians in Panama. So do the Hawaiians in Hawaii. Most lands of darker hued people started with darker hued people. And pale faces that went to all lands, mixing with the darker races of people and creating half-breeds every damn way. Mexicans, right? Peruvians, Dominicans, Taino Indians, all have a darker hue ancestry. It started with the dark. Everything came out of the dark into the light. That's just what it is, not racism. It's just facts. Anyway, let me share my screen right quick. Listen to this sister speak to your family. I ain't gonna be too long tonight.
I want to make a follow-on video to a previous video that I made about the transatlantic slave trade. And in that video, I talked about how the African slaves got in the hands of white American slave buyers and ended up in America. And that was through the transatlantic slave trade. But I mentioned the movie Roots in that video. And I want to address some things about the author, Alex Haley, and his book and miniseries Roots. Now, Alex Haley is considered, I guess, a literary icon in the Black community. And when he wrote the book Roots, he got all kinds of awards for that. And then the miniseries that followed the book, you know, he got all kinds of awards for it, Emmy awards, you name the awards. He got it because, and I remember that miniseries being on every night. It was about 1977. I think I was in the 5th grade, and it sparked all kinds of conversations, and it inflamed a lot of hearts of Black people because we were able to see how slavery was portrayed in his miniseries. And I remember going to school every day and talking about it with my school teachers, with my friends, and in the homes, even my father, my mother. And a lot of times people can still to this day quote Roots as, as proof of what actually went on during slavery. Now, but I later found out through research that Alex Haley plagiarized Roots. The book Roots, he plagiarized it from another author who wrote a book called The Africans. And Alex Haley, was sued, and he paid over half the proceeds that he made from that book's Roots to the author that he stole a lot of the information from. And he also was, another lady had written a book that he had stolen some of the information from her book. So he had lifted information from two different authors to put in this book, and he settled. He settled out. And so, but this is public knowledge. And I say it's public knowledge.
All public knowledge, family.
Of course,
you can look it up.
In the court system, it's public knowledge. But the media didn't report on that.
Right.
I don't remember the media covering Alex Haley being sued for plagiarizing Roots. Not only that, Alex Haley admitted that a lot of Roots was fiction. In fact, Kunta Kinte was not his relative as he portrayed in the movie. He got that character from one of the two authors that sued him. Now, why is this important? Well, a lot of people, Black people especially, got all their information about how slavery was, the institution of slavery, as far as coming to America, the slaves that were brought to America and the slaves, but from Roots. I remember asking my father, my father wasn't educated. He was a good man, but he's a hardworking good man, but he wasn't educated. So like I say, we sat down as a family and watched Roots every night. So when I would ask questions, I said, how did they get us? And, how were they able to, overpower us and get us? And he'd said, well, you saw what happened in Roots, because I think it's a scene in Roots where these white people are chasing the Blacks through the woods and kidnapping them. So I'm saying that because when you have a myth portrayed and people believe it, because it inflamed the hearts of a lot of people. And to this day, I have relatives that have Roots, that big book, on a bookshelf, right beside the Bible, basically, because they believe Roots. They don't realize that it's a fake, it is fictional, and that he plagiarized it, and he made up a lot of it. Even Henry Gates admitted that Roots is a work of fiction. That Henry Gates is a historian, and he's a historian with slavery, so he has good work. So even he.
Now, I used to use a lot of Roots clips in my show, the Yaz Real Album, when I was doing my show in Chicago. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that it was a plagiarized book. I was still following the narrative that we are from Africa, even though none of my relatives told me until I got in my 40s. Did my uncle tell me that we had one African from the Zulu nation in our family, my great-grandmother, on my father's side. Only one I ever heard. I don't have any on my mother's side. So I didn't know when I was using Roots in my show. Well, let's proceed.
He admitted that. And I'm saying this because the truth needs to be told about what happened. Because when people's hearts are inflamed and people are angry over something that's not even true. Now, what I really want to get to is the media. Now, Roots, this Alex Haley being sued was in the media, was in the court system, so it's public knowledge. But the media didn't report on it. And I think there's two reasons. Okay, one of the reasons is, like I say, Alex Haley was considered a literary icon in the Black community.
What's up,
and I think that the media didn't want Black people to be let down. Because just like Martin Luther King, there's a whole lot of things that he did that the media didn't report because he's an icon. So you want to just not, I think that's one thing. It was a good thing in a way, not really, but it is if you're trying to protect the reputation of a Black icon. But I think is there another reason, is a more sinister reason, because to keep the division going, you have to realize when people quote Roots and they believe what happened in Roots, that keeps people angry. and it keeps the division going. And I think that's one of the reasons why the media didn't report that, hey, this man was sued. This is not even true. This is fiction, and he stole this information from other writers.
I think they kept it from us because they wanted to steal the land and keep it for hunkies. That's what I think. That's the main reason. They wanted to displace us. They found this land to be full of resources and a place they could set up their demonic ways and culture and evil and wickedness, like Hollywood, California, and they could just do their thing here. Be as evil as pale-faced cave monkeys and monkeyettes could be. That's what I believe. Yeah, I believe that. That's what they did it for. Because they found the land they wanted to claim as their own. Damn the people that was already on it. They wanted this land for themselves. And you can hear them today under Trump. This is America. My ancestors built this country. This is a fucking America. And Trump himself said, or herself, because I think Trump is a little woman. But anyway, that's another story. Trump said some time ago, my ancestors tamed a continent and we're not going to apologize for it. That's what Trump said. Little bastard. Boldly said it. Interesting, right? They have no plans on relinquishing this land back to us. And this is why now they're in the mode of killing us off through this poison. Remember they gave us the smallpox blankets, killed off many of our people. Yeah, now they're giving us what? What they're giving us now, family? They're giving us the shot. Yeah, they're giving us they shot, and that's taking us right on up out of here. Every day, folks is getting the shot. They getting sick. They spreading the shot, and they might even turn into zombies in a little bit. The pale-faced man would rather kill us off than to come and tell the absolute truth about who this land belongs to. He'd rather kill us off than let us see the land, let us have the land back. And he's using the Jewish devil. That's who really is behind all this. And they think that they are so-called God. They have a God complex. That's why they gave us the word God. God ain't got nothing holy to it. It don't mean nothing holy. It come from pale faces. Don't have nothing holy to it at all. It's their word. Sick, demonic, pale faces word. God. Turn it around and spell dog. So come on now. Yeah, the so-called chosen one, them Jewish, bagel eating, fake lock having, ugly ass top hat wearing, going to some black rock, bouncing up and down looking ass, lying devils who ain't never had no righteousness, ain't never had no holiness, ain't never been connected to the creative life-giving force in the world, nowhere. Always been demons. And they even, when they circumcise babies, some of them sick devils sucked the blood off the little baby penis and was giving them herpes. These are your Jewish so-called chosen of God, chosen of the Most High, devils. Yeah, they did that. Yeah, they do that. That's how they get down. Well, they run all the banks. They ain't nothing but crackers, that decided to give themselves the name Jews. Breakaway honkies, that's all they is. Breakaway crackers. You see, breakaway honkies. And they broke away and they took a book, or they made up a book, one of the two. And it's called the Bible, and they have the Torah. Hell, in the Torah, they can lay down with a 2-year-old. I think when the child turned 4 or something, everything goes back to normal and it's like nothing happened. I mean, these are some sick individuals. But they said they wanted to give the world over to Asia and let the Asians run the world for a while. This is why the Asians are being put in place all over the place. I saw the Asians being put in place when I went to Hawaii in 05. No, 01. I saw the Asians being put in place when I went to Jamaica in Montego Bay in 05. Didn't know why I was seeing Asians running businesses in Jamaica and in Hawaii, but I understand now. They've been doing this. Let's get back to what the sister said.
Then that keeps people thinking it's true. Because like I say, I have relatives that have the book Roots by the Bible on the bookshelf and as truths. So I'm going to put a link to an article about Alex Haley being sued and all of that in the comment section, so you can read for yourself. But you can Google it. There's several articles in the New York Times, different places, about Alex Haley paying out half of the proceeds because he had to settle a lawsuit for plagiarizing Roots from other authors. And there's another thing before I close. I remember when Alex Haley died, and people were saying back home where I'm from that, he died broke. And my relatives was like, how could he possibly die broke? And I don't know whether he died broke or not, penniless or what, but this is what the rumor was at back home when I'd go home to visit. And I remember wondering, how could this man that died broke, all that money he made? But this is before I learned about the lawsuit where he had to pay all this money back. All the money that he made, he had to pay at least half of it, and then maybe even more back to the people that he stole the information from. So that's possibly, if he did die broke, that might be why. So I just think it's important that we have a discussion, that we get the facts out.
Peace, Brother
because
Jay.
when you are depending on something something as truth to prove your point, and it's not true, then we need to get rid of it.
Exactly.
I don't care how long you've held something. That's how I am. I've been duped about a lot of things too. But I don't care how long I have believed something. I don't care who told me. I don't care if I've known it my whole life. The minute I find out that it's not true, I get rid of it. That's the end of it with me. I don't keep holding on to lies. And I don't get angry because I want to hold on to it. If I get angry about anything, I'm angry because I was lied to. But some people don't want to know the facts, because then that would take away the victim status or whatever it is they're trying to hold, the anger. But we were deceived by Alex Haley. We were deceived by him. And I think that this needs to be reported. I think people need to do their own research. Like I said, I'm going to put a link to one of the articles about Alex Haley in the comment section. But it's important that all people, regardless of your race, know facts, because people want to deceive you because they have an agenda. You got to realize people have an agenda, especially the liberals in America. They want to keep us divided. They want to keep our hearts inflamed. And nothing will, if you watch Roots, you get angry. Even people right now who have, I think they might have bought it on DVD, they say, every time I look at Roots, I just get so angry. Of course, That's what it's meant to do, inflame your hearts. Now, nobody's saying that slavery was a good thing. Slavery was horrible. People were mistreated. But, I got into some debates with people about slavery, and some of them will concede that, yes, Africans sold other Africans into slavery, and Africans enslaved other Africans. But they say, but the slavery was different from what the white man did to us in America. See, they were good to us. We were indentured servants. They didn't beat us. They didn't do this to us. But listen, right now in Africa, there's slavery. And you know what? They're cutting off the arms of the slaves. This is what they're doing. So slavery was just as brutal in Africa by African slave owners as it was what the white man did. Slavery is horrible, period. And you can't keep blaming the white man and say, well, he did us wrong. Our own people did us wrong. And that's just I just want to get that out there. Slavery was horrible no matter who was the slave owner. It was a horrible institution. And thank God that we no longer have physical bondage slavery in America. But we still have government slavery in America.
You got mental
and that's
slavery.
The part that the Democrats want to hold on to, because they were the ones that had the slaves in America. They were the ones that fought to try to keep the slaves. And now they're still trying to keep slaves by keeping people enslaved to government welfare and things like that, and telling you can't make it in America because the white man is holding you down. Another form of slavery. Mental slavery is way worse than physical slavery. Always have been.
All right, enough of that. She's starting to talk crazy. Don't blame the white man. It ain't the white man's fault. It's that bitch's fault because they came over here and been lying ever since they got here. Never stopped lying. Yes, they goddamn fault for the lies they told. It's their goddamn fault for all the treaties they signed and never kept. It's their goddamn fault for saying they was Indians when they paid $5 through their kangaroo bitch ass courts to become one of us. It's their goddamn fault for lying about fat ass Kris Kringle, Santa Claus. There no goddamn way ain't no fat jolly bastard nowhere generous enough to be flying around, if he did have some goddamn reindeers in a sled, and be dropping presents off in little Negro neighborhoods. Ain't a hunky on the planet that goddamn nice. Plus, the majority of us didn't have no damn chimney no way. So it's the goddamn white man's lie for Christmas, for Thanksgiving. They call it Thanksgiving. It wasn't no damn peace between us and them damn pale-faced bastard pilgrim bitches. It's his goddamn fault for lying about Easter. Bunny rabbits don't lay no damn eggs. Fuck you talking about? And how the hell if the man supposedly this Jesus creature, if the nigga died Friday at 6 and rose Sunday morning at 6 a.m., but he's supposed to have been dead for 3 days and 3 nights. How the hell is that 3 days and 3 nights? From Friday night at 6 p.m. to Saturday night at 6 p.m. is 1 24-hour period. But he rose Sunday at 6 a.m., 12 more hours. That's 36 hours. 3 days is 72 hours. So it's the pale-faced bitches fault for lying about his punk-ass holidays. That's the holiest day the punk got. And it's still a goddamn lie. What jelly beans got to do with a motherfucker on the cross? Bleeding, stuck in the side, pierced in his side. He was wounded for our transgressions. The hell up out of here with that bullshit. That's a damn lie. Ain't nobody died for our sins. It's the pale-faced man's fault for lying about some Jewish carpenter that died for the sins of the world. Yeah, it's the pale-faced man's goddamn fault. Sorry, lying, fork-tongued demon. It's his goddamn fault. If he wouldn't have came over here with that bullshit, we wouldn't have to be talking about his punk ass. Should have stayed in Germany, Switzerland, Sweden. Antarctica. The bitch should have stayed where the hell he was at, and we wouldn't even have to worry about it. Made up all kind of horrible damn nursery rhymes. If you listen to them damn nursery rhymes, folks going up on hills, falling down, breaking their goddamn back. The nursery rhymes is horrible. Go listen to, read a few up. This hunky is at fault for creating a monetary system that's a whole goddamn illusion. Think about this for a second. Now, you take paper money that come from trees and you so-called pay for goods and services. Let's take water, for instance. You pay for water, supposedly, with little pieces of wood that they call money, with dead pale faces on it, and some green coloring, and some numbers and some symbols. Now, if you don't give them enough of that green in a certain period of time, your bill is going to pile up. Then you get a shut-off notice. So this bitch shuts your water off, your access to city water, because there ain't your access to water as a whole, because once they flip the switch off or tap the water off at your house, all you got to do is go out there and untap the damn water, and you got water. Once it comes through the pipes, it's always there. This bitch ain't supplying no water. That's an illusion. Got us so-called paying bills, a water bill. You can't pay for no water with no wood. Then you go out there and you chop some trees down and you press it out. You put the colors on it. Yours is counterfeit. Now you going to prison. But it's the same goddamn papers that come from the trees this bitch used. Then they say you got to take paper money and pay for electricity. Once the pole goes up and it's live, electricity runs through the pole regardless of how much green anybody got in the world. It don't matter. They just come and flip the switch and say your electricity is cut off. Now you got to go run like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to get enough green illusion money, fiat currency, to go give them so they'll turn it back on. Remember how it used to be when the cable would go out because you didn't pay it, and you found a handy dandy, nervy crackhead in the neighborhood to go up on the pole and turn it back on? That's because it's live. They just switched it off at the damn wire. And no, you average person ain't going up there. It's all an illusion. You can't pay for natural resources, electricity, gas, water. You can't pay for those things. You can't even buy land. How you gonna buy land with paper? The land holds the trees, and under the ground is the roots to the trees that make the money. So how in the hell are you paying for land with the resources that come out the damn land? And they stopped using gold. That's right, Jose. Paper ain't worth nothing. It can burn up. It's an illusion. Like the song said, it's just an illusion. Ah, 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 ah. Illusion. Boy, this crackling back has had us living and an illusion all this time. And now the illusion is taking us right into the vac shop. Go in there and get your shot. The illusion, because you gotta have a job. Sure you do. You need that job because you've got to pay the mortgage. You've got to pay the rent. You've got to pay the electricity. You've got to pay the water. You've got to pay for the gas. You got to do it. You've got to do it. You don't have the right to go and tap your own water. You don't have the right to build your own electrical system, use generators and build your own wind turbine. You don't have the right to do that. Right? You don't have the right to tap your own gas. No. You've got to pay Mr. Charlie. So you've got to have a job. So that's how he's going to use, that's what he's going to use as a detour to kill off so many of us, is that you got to work for him in order for you to be able to survive. When people have been living without the pale-face services for thousands of years, the pale-face Amish don't even use the pale-face. The other pale-face services, they survive. They got their own water tap, own electricity if they want it. If they want natural gas, they got it. They got everything necessary to run a house. If they want chicken, they got them running a chickens all over the goddamn place. Roosters too. They got goats. They want some goat meat. They got goats. They got lamb, bah, all in the damn yard and shit. Been living without all that crap. Right, you can't fish without a license. Who's the white man to tell us you can't fish unless you got his goddamn license? Now check this out, what he do with his laws. This is why people shouldn't want to be under this pale-faced devil, lion demon no more. We fished in these streams and caught fish that's extinct now since this bastard been around. The streams used to be so pure and clean before this piss face, piss back, cum gut ass semen demon honky came here. And we fished, we fly fished. Hell, the streams were so clean we could even do a little whole bath in the water. We respected nature, but we fished all the time. And we caught fish and we ate fish. Smoked them all kind of ways. We had fish. Wasn't no goddamn license. What the hell you mean I got to get you? What is a license? It's just a piece of paper. You ain't got to go out and catch no fish to prove you can fish. Like when you get a driver license, you got to prove your ass can drive. You just can't walk up and down. I need a driver's license, player. Yeah, I'm 18 now, so motherfucker, I'm ready to go and drive, bitch. They give you a test and everything. Make sure they don't want to get killed out there on the road with your ass driving. You can't drive. But ain't no fishing license test. You just go in there, you the right age, they give you a license to fish. Then they pull up on you and want to check your so-called license. If you ain't got one, they can take all your bait, all the fish you caught. If you got a boat, they can take your boat. They can take and impound your car. They can fine you and throw you in jail. All because you catching fish with a pole you bought, with some line you bought, with some hooks you bought, with a net you bought, with a bucket you bought, with a boat you bought if you got one. And you drove to the goddamn spot in a car or a truck you bought. You gonna fry your own fish. You ain't got to come over and clean none of your goddamn fish. Yet you got to go to jail and lose your boat, get a record and all this because you was fishing. Probably just to feed your damn self sometimes. Some single men go fishing, they feed themselves with fish. But the pale-faced monkey demon got to tell you he got to control all the damn waters in the country. You got to have a fishing license. Bitch, how do you control all the waters in the country? Y'all need to ask yourself that question. What you mean I got to get the jab? I need a job. Okay, march your silly ass right on in that V site. Let them boop pop your ass in the arm. Let them boop pop your children in the arm. Go ahead on. Maybe you'll become a zombie because you trust hunkies, the colonizers of this land. Remember, they gave us smallpox in blankets. Now it's the boop. That was biological and chemical warfare through a blanket. Now it's through a syringe, and it's called the mark of the beast. And the pale man, if he ain't a beast, I don't know what he is. Who go in a steakhouse and order big ass porterhouse steak like they on the Flintstones? Big ass steak, bigger than the plate. This goddamn thick, that wide shit, cover the whole plate, dripping blood, drippy red. Yeah, that's right. Memphis just let me know Jesus Jesus went out with a net and caught 5,000 fish, I think it was, and he had 2 loaves of bread. He didn't have no lights. He went out with a net. Throw the cast your net, Peter, on the left side. Matthew and Mark helped Peter cast the net on the right side. The Lord giveth. But now if you take your ass out there and use a net and he catch you, up. Here come the goofy ass little park ranger and shit. Hey, buddy. You know that's illegal, right? Because they said so. Boy, I'm telling you something, family. These jobs, these aspirations to go to the pale-faced man's schools, to keep on going to his jobs, to keep on participating in the world he made, right now is becoming a death certificate. Really. Loving this pale-faced imposter, colonizing bitch, is becoming our demise. Many of us are getting this shot and leaving this earth and getting ready to, more and more getting ready to leave the earth. Hopefully some of us, none of us will become zombies, because at that point, it's just time to blow off heads. They're going to turn the world into a goddamn video game. Now, let me share the link in the chat again. Somebody might want to say something. I'll be on another 5 minutes and I'm going to get on off. Somebody might want to say, add a little something to the chat. But I'm here to tell you, family, be vigilant these days. If you haven't got that jab, I suggest you don't do it. But the beauty of the world is free will. You can do what you want. No matter who tell you you can't. It's all up to you. We're going to see if you really come this far by faith. Like we sang in the church. We come this far by faith, leaning on the Lord. Trust in his holy word. He never failed me yet. Oh, now you're going to see what faith really is. Can you survive without the pale face? Can you survive without having to run to get a job? Run to the job every day? Can you tell your boss, bitch, please? Like you tell your brother or sister, bitch, please. Can you really look your boss in the face and say, I'm not taking that shit? And really depend upon the creator? Do you know the creator enough to do? Do you know the creative life-giving force enough? Do you have enough of the creative life-giving force in you to be able to break away from a job? You know, I hear the truck drivers. Some of them are saying they're going to shut down their trucks after August 31st, and nothing will come in to the stores. What? Because that's their way to fight the global elite pale-faced demons, is to not drive nothing nowhere, which further shuts down the businesses and stores, which is what they want to do any goddamn way. The end of the pale-faced man is here. That's what we're living in right now. Don't let the pale-faced man put the Chinese man in charge. We need to be doing some prayers against these pale faces and these goddamn Asians. And the prayer need to be wipe they asses out. Ain't nothing wrong with that type of prayer. You ain't pulling no gun out. You ain't shooting nobody. You ain't tasing or stabbing nobody. You just praying to the creator. Telling the creator, take these devils out. That's nothing wrong with that. David prayed, they say in the book of Psalms, kill all my enemies. Wipe their whole family out. All their lineage. Let them be no more named on the planet nowhere ever. Ain't nothing wrong with that kind of prayer. Negroes got voodoo. Negro cast a spell on you, go out and get a chicken bone and goddamn it, some dog hair and one of your hairs and a fingernail and shit, and put it together and do a spell on your ass and have your mouth all but they're too goddamn stupid to go out there and do that to the pale face. Well, now, little voodoo man, little voodoo girl, you need to do that to the pale face. Twist these bastards up. Get them Bell's palsy where half of their face just goddamn go droopy. You know, we need our asses whooped doing all these voodoo spells on each other. Stupid asses. People be taking your pictures and putting them in the shoe, walking on your face and shit. Think they every time they walk, hit the ground, they mash it in because they hate your guts. Because you got a newer car than they got, or some other old dumb ass madness. All the voodoo Negroes done. They done on hunkies. I mean, each other. I ain't seen no bank vaults open. I ain't seen no Brinks trucks be riding down the street. All of a sudden, the truck doors open and they don't even know. They just keep driving. The money come out and fly everywhere in the hood. I ain't never seen that happen. I ain't never seen no hunky go to the ATM, open it up, and start passing out money in the hood because niggas work witchcraft on them. But y'all trying to work witchcraft on each other. Women want to put period blood in niggas' spaghettis, lasagna and shit. I'm gonna get this nigga because Yeah, he did so and so to me. He got another bitch over there across the street, down around the corner. I'm gonna put some of this in this some period blood in this goddamn skettish. Stupid man. Niggas taking their semen and shit. I'm gonna put this in her drink so she'll be in love with me. I mean, just dumbass man. On each other. You better do your damn spells on these hunkies. Yeah, women do that, and men do it too. Women will put their period blood in some damn spaghetti and serve it to a man they want to keep. Men will put their semen in a cup of milk or some crap like that, or on a hamburger disguised with the mayonnaise for a woman they want to keep. It's madness, sexual witchcraft. We do all kind of silly ass, stupid math. That's probably why the Most High allow these pale faces to go on and boop, take our stupid asses on off the planet for doing all the wickedness and evil to each other and not focusing on the pale face. What if we'd have been taking our energy that we've been going to church with and praying to Jesus and praying that white folks love us and we get along with them and everything be nice in the world? Why couldn't we have been praying that we find a way not to need his jobs? Because now, this is what people are saying. This is their reasoning for getting the shot. I need my job. Job ain't even yours. But again, you have your own free will. You can follow the pale-faced colonizers to your sure demise, or you can stand against them. This is the last chance you got. And if you got that shot, you better hurry up. You better hope you got a placebo. But if you got the real deal, you better hope you can clean that out. You better hope you can clean all that poison out your system. Anyway, family, nobody came on. I'm going to go in the broadcast. Just for you, a little something for you to think about. Go do some research on who we really are. You see, I'm not lying. And this is my war headdress. Time to go to war. Right? Yes, indeed, it is, family. Brother man, get you a sister. Sister, get you a brother. Drop the other both up. Till you see my face again, may the Most High take care of you and yours. Peace. Halito.